Welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. And I am your host, Conrad Cushman, and we are here today to talk about Smackdown Live. Show just went off the air, guys, not too long ago, and it was, I don't know, it was a weird show. Wasn't really feeling Smackdown tonight. Smackdown was live in Phoenix, Arizona once again for another night, and they came out there and they started things off hot with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is one of the top competitors right now competing on that Smackdown Live brand, and she came out there with straight fire. Now, before we get into that, guys, hey, what's going on, Connor? Let me know if I sound good tonight. I'm trying something different. And like I said, the chat will pop up on this video now, so you guys will be able to see your comments. I'm not sure why Connor's isn't popping up, but mine should. He just wrote yo, so I'm going to write yo back. And see. Thank you, sir. Yeah, but if you're new to the channel, guys, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the video. Any people who subscribe now, too, will pop up on the screen, as it should, so that's something pretty cool. But let's get back into this. So Becky Lynch came out. She was talking that straight fire, picking right up from her momentum from Monday Night Raw. Becky Lynch was out there basically playing up the Royal Rumble stuff, talking about why she chose to face Ronda Rousey and promised to put her down. And during all of that, you know who had to come out? Charlotte. And Charlotte's out there, and basically she comes out congratulating Becky very sarcastically, and she basically wanted the fans to know that she gave Becky Lynch everything that she's ever had, earned all the chants, the win at the Rumble, all of it's because of Charlotte. Which, I mean, I get it. Charlotte did light the fire under her as far as storyline goes, but whatever. So she basically said she made the man. And with all that being said, they brawled on the outside after Becky decked her. Becky's still hurt from her knee, and they made sure they played up on that a lot. She was wearing a knee brace, and Becky Lynch ends up getting decked by Charlotte when she's walking up the ramp. These two brawl all over the ringside area. It was pretty different. I was surprised, to say the least. But they went out there and did their thing. Now, after that happened, we had a different match. A match that me and Connor were talking about, actually, in the Facebook group. And it was the R-Truth versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the U.S. title. Now, this was an okay match. Very weird, to say the least. Especially towards the finish. So the finish, Nakamura has R-Truth up on his shoulders, and he goes to like dump him off or whatever. R-Truth reverses it into a roll-up. Nothing we haven't seen before. The ref goes down for the count. 1, 2, and Nakamura looked like he kicked out to me. And that could be just my bias kicking in because I actually like Nakamura. But I thought he kicked out and the ref counted 3. So what does that mean? Unfortunately, they gave R-Truth the title. Like, the referee they stalled for a minute. You could clearly tell that there was a botch happening with this. And GG, man. They ended up having to give the belt to R-Truth. After that happens, Rusev comes out to the ring. And Rusev's yelling at R-Truth that it's his title and whatever. And Carmella and Lana start getting into it, exchanging words back and forth. And I think she said that Carmella was a gold digger. Carmella pushed Lana. Lana's ankle's still injured from everything that happened at the Royal Rumble. Lana goes down, and then that turned into Rusev and R-Truth getting each other's face. Like, you grab her, you check your girl. Whatever. You know, the usual how fights start with things like that. And he says, put your title on the line. R-Truth is going to put the U.S. title on the line against Rusev. So we get another match with R-Truth. And this one was tough to watch. I'm not going to lie, guys. They went back and forth. R-Truth ends up picking up the victory here with a roll-up. Not sure if I was a fan of that, but he wins with a roll-up again. After the match, Rusev attacks R-Truth. Huh? So Going back to Monday Night Raw's events, now we have Elias, who has turned heel, and Rusev is back as a heel again, too. What is going on, WWE? I am so confused at this point as to why we are doing this, but I mean, I guess it is what it is, right? I don't like the fact that they're doing so many flips and turns for whatever reason, and it makes no sense to me, at least for as far as why are they doing this. If you guys have any light to shine on that, or why do you think they're doing that, I would love to hear it, because it doesn't make sense to me at all. Moving on. Becky leaves worried about an injury to her knee. So they catch her out in the parking lot. I believe it was Dasha Bot, and she was out there asking about what are we going to do as far as this whole you and Charlotte, this battling that's going on. What are you going to do? She said that I'm worried about getting injured. And I have a bad feeling that this is going to play into the storyline. That's why I paused with this, because at first I was like, oh, it's going to be Ronda versus Becky at WrestleMania. Perfect one-on-one match. I don't know, though, if we're going to get that, man. Like, at this point, I'm wondering, because they wouldn't have this set up. And that goes back to me saying they're playing into that knee perfectly as well. They are going right into that, not stopping, and they're right on it. So, yeah, I don't know. That is a tough one here. And I am not sure why that's coming up like that. So, after that match, we have Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe. So we think. After Becky takes off in her car, Rey Mysterio comes out. He does all of his usual entrance stuff. And things are happening. Rey's sitting out there waiting for his opponent, Samoa Joe. Joe never ends up coming out because Zelina Vega comes out and accuses Rey Mysterio of getting her caught up last week and getting her banned from ringside and yada, yada, yada. None of it matters. It was all a setup. Andrade came out and attacked Rey Mysterio. Andrade came out in this nice three-piece suit. He was ripping, ready to go. And that was it. Andrade attacked Rey, and he even did the Three Amigos on him, kind of as a shot to him for the whole Eddie Guerrero. So, very different, to say the least. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to end up getting another Andrade Rey Mysterio match at the, I'm guessing, the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, but I'm down with that. They've had really good matches, and I don't think they're getting that WrestleMania match like we all hope. So, like I said, let them rock. Our next segment we had was with Shane and Ms. McMahon, or Ms. McMahon. That should be their tag team name. Shane McMahon and The Miz, they come out and celebrate. They do this whole thing with video packages. Miz's dad comes out to Miz's music. He says, I love you, son. I'm proud of you. Yeah, I don't know. Corey Graves was saying some jokes about daddy issues. I thought it was funny. Miz's dad ends up coming out there. They celebrate. Then Shane says, we need to figure out who our next challengers are going to be for these tag belts, because it's easy to win them. It's even harder to defend them. Well, we have a four-way elimination #1 contenders match for the Smackdown Live tag team titles. We had The Bar versus the Usos versus New Day versus Heavy Machinery. Now, here's where it gets weird again. Like I said, for the past few weeks, they've been coming out with these stupid commercials, and it just got so bad. So, a commercial pops up, #1, and the commercial is, or not a commercial, I'm sorry. We have Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. I think there was a commercial actually in between that. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville come back when we get back from the commercial break. They're on there, and they're declaring themselves for the women's tag team titles. I thought you had to qualify for this, but maybe not on SmackDown. I don't know what this shit is. Mandy gives an explanation for why she did what she did to Naomi. It's so freaking stupid. They go back to Tough Enough and I lost my boyfriend. She gave me a complex because of this. Really, dude? This is what we pay writers to come up with? That was horrible. You were better off just having Mandy be devious just to do it. That's dumb. So I didn't like that at all. I thought that this storyline was trash the way it was written. Not a fan. So the match starts. People get back in there. We get a little bit with like Heavy Machinery, basically focusing in on Big Otis Dozovich. And they go to another commercial break, and I have WTF right here. A horrible time for another commercial break. They go in, though. They do another break. New Day ends up getting eliminated. Then we get another commercial break while the Usos are on the outside. Lots of breaks in the main event, and I thought that absolutely sucked. Wasn't a fan of it at all. Next, we go back to the tag match here. The next team to go out is Heavy Machinery. Yes, I see that, KC Classic. I'm not sure why that's happening. Like I said, I'm using new software, and I don't know about this right now. Maybe I'm not using it correctly, but I'm using Streamlabs OBS, and I don't know why the title isn't different, even though I changed it, as you can see, and I've changed all the other stuff, and this is a completely different setup. So I'll have to figure something out with that. Back to what I was saying. So Heavy Machinery comes out, and they're in the match for a little bit, but they have Tucker Knight eat so many moves that there's no way he's kicking out of this. He gets eliminated after, I believe it was a bro kick, so he's out. So we're down to the Bar and the Usos, and you know this is going to be good. But they end up getting the win pretty quickly. The Usos get the win with their finisher, the big splash off the top rope. So it will be the Usos versus Shane McMahon and The Miz at the next, I'm guessing it's either at the pay-per-view or maybe future Smackdown. Not sure. That wasn't clarified by anybody. So at this point, we have new number one contenders for the tag belts. Let's see where they go with this. I don't know what they're doing with the Shane Miz storyline. Like, at this point, dude, I don't know. They need to, I think they're going to end up facing each other is the only explanation, because I don't understand this quick bromance that they had thrown together just because of a trophy. So we'll see. Let's get to the main event segment. Daniel Bryan comes out and he says he has like a big announcement for the WWE Universe, yada yada yada. This brings out Rowan, and Rowan has like his name is basically spelled out Rowan. He has his old theme music, but he has like the recycling logos spinning around in a circle. I was just laughing at that. Rowan comes out pretty quiet for the most part. He lets Daniel Bryan do all the talking. He's the muscle. Rowan comes out with a backpack, and inside the backpack they have something. And Daniel Bryan brings up, and he says how he tells a story about a cow named Daisy and how Daisy had to die for us to see this ugly looking title, and he throws down the WWE title and says that he doesn't deserve to wear a title like this. And what does he finally pull out of the bag? A WWE hemp title. That belt looks so freaking disgusting and ugly that it made me laugh as soon as he pulled it out, because we finally got Daniel Bryan. If you've ever listened to the Solid Monsters podcast, he's been ridiculed when he was the champion. You're not a real vegan. That belt's made of leather. So he finally came out with a hemp title. I absolutely love it. I thought it was so cool that Daniel Bryan did this. It looks hideous, but once again, he'll make it work. So afterwards, AJ Styles comes out. AJ Styles is still making claim for a WWE Championship match. Following behind AJ is Randall Keith Orton. Randy Orton comes out. He's saying he deserves a title shot and why he does. They go to a commercial break. We miss Jeff Hardy coming out. This is what sucks about these commercial breaks. You are missing key moments during SmackDown, and I absolutely hate that. Jeff Hardy comes out. Mustafa Ali comes out. And then Samoa Joe comes out. Now, Samoa Joe came out on the microphone on fire. He told Jeff Hardy to be quiet, like if he was at an AA meeting, and wait to speak his turn. He told Randy Orton he would devenomize the Viper. He told Daniel Bryan that he better watch his back because he's the champion. He's here to take him out. He told Mustafa Ali he's a lucky punk because the week before he had his eyes rolling in the back of his head. And Samoa Joe talks all this craziness to everybody, and he actually says something to AJ Styles about, hey AJ, how's Wendy doing? And that's when a brawl breaks out. Everybody's fighting, going back and forth, and then who pops up on the Titantron? No one but Triple H. And Triple H says, Daniel, you're not fighting against one of these guys for your title. You're defending your belt at the Elimination Chamber against these 6 men. And the crowd pops for it. They're all happy. And it looks like we have our first match for the Elimination Chamber set in stone. It will be Daniel Bryan defending his WWE Hemp title against AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, Mustafa Ali, and Samoa Joe. I cannot wait to see that match. I think it's going to be an exciting one. I look forward to seeing what Mustafa Ali does in there especially. But I don't know if you guys see Daniel Bryan not winning. I guess I'll leave that for the question in the comment section down below. Do you guys see Daniel Bryan losing his title in this Elimination Chamber match and then they kind of rework WrestleMania? Be interesting. Do me a favor, guys. Leave your comments down below to that question. Also, make sure you leave a like on the video. Need as many likes as we can. It'll help out. I have to definitely double check this OBS Streamlabs beta. I'm not sure what the issue is or if I'm doing something wrong. So bear with me, guys, for the next few videos. And we'll see what we could do. Connor says he'd like to see Jeff Hardy win. We'll see, Connor. I think Jeff Hardy's time has passed for being WWE champion. But you never know. Sometimes they do crazy things. Also, guys, make sure you give me a follow on Twitter at EPW Show. Same thing with Instagram. Type in that search bar, EPW Show. You guys will find me. I also have my Facebook links, and that's for my group and my official page. You guys can check that out. And earlier, I put up a video about Dean Ambrose leaving, and I guess we could talk about that real quick, too. That's the end of the Smackdown Live review anyway. I just put up a video basically about Dean Ambrose and the effect that AEW is having on WWE. Now, the Dean Ambrose video covers as far as how he's been treated in WWE and the fact that Dean Ambrose is leaving WWE in April. And it was already kind of explained. That was weird that WWE put that news out already. Yes, it is confirmed. Dean Ambrose is leaving in April. I think that says a lot about your company, though, if you guys have people as talented as Dean Ambrose leaving. I don't know. That says a lot. And I get into kind of like how you should treat workers at your actual workplace. And I know they're not workers, they're independent contractors. But it's a good discussion. It's kind of just me, microphone on, talking from my heart. So it's a little bit different this week on the podcast. Make sure you check it out, anchor.fm/EPW. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Just type in everything Pro Wrestling, guys, and you'll find me. And as far as AEW is concerned, I know the picture has AEW above Dean Ambrose's head, and people are like, oh, it's not meant to be clickbait. It's two completely different topics, but they kind of blend into each other. And the AEW stuff plays into why it's okay for Ambrose to leave at this point, because he has an advantage to it and how wrestlers can benefit from this at the same time. So I look forward to everyone's feedback and thoughts on both of the content videos I made, the Smackdown Live review and the podcast. I'm doing tremendous work with everyone who's been loyal to the podcast so far. So thank you guys so much. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to keep up these live reviews, especially with shows like this. I did not think this show was anything special tonight. They had a couple moments, but other than that, it wasn't a good Smackdown in my opinion. Thank you guys for checking out everything. I appreciate Connor and Casey Classic coming through. Hopefully the link wasn't a problem. I know it says the wrong stuff on there. I'm very upset about that. But I appreciate you guys coming through to check out the content. I'm out. Peace.